The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but unless one first cultivates the mind before cultivating these arts, all their feats will be like the moon's reflection on water, shattering at the slightest touch. ado. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some...
Hello there, Honorary Knight and the Helper in White.
It's so nice to meet you, Honorary Knight and Lady Paimon. Glenfidia, at your service.
Looks like you're in a good mood, Hertha. And nice to meet you, Glenfidia. By the looks of things, you're about ready to open?
Indeed. Thanks to some help from the Angel's Share and the Cat's Tail, our drink stand is ready to go. Besides all the classics, we also mix cocktails to order and are currently offering a limited-time delivery service.
Cocktails? Do you remember that time we served as bartenders at the Angel's Share? And recently, you've also shown off your skills at the flagship in Nokrai. We sure have come a long way, huh?
The only thing is, our current drink selection is quite traditional, and it stopped feeling fresh long before the expedition began. To offer everyone some more exciting choices, we're planning to revamp our menu. But I need to get back to handling resident requests, and Glenfidia doesn't have much experience mixing drinks. Plus, we've got a whole bunch of outstanding delivery orders on hand. Honorary Knight, if you're free, could you maybe help us out for a while, just until my other squad gets back from the Stormbearer Mountains?
You'll be amply compensated, of course, plus double pay for overtime, depending on your performance metrics.
Paimon's not sure what performance metrics are, but she's happy to help with deliveries. As the best guide into that, Paimon needs to keep up with the changing times. Besides, this will give her the chance to explore the city and stay up to date with all the recent goings-on.
Working with you two is always such a breeze.
I'll do my best to support Lady Paimon in any way I can. I'm very skilled when it comes to things like portioning out drinks.
All right. Well, if you're ready too, then let's get to work.
Oh my, it looks like Hertha has gone back to her duties, and Glenfidia is away somewhere too. Has our dear cutie taken complete charge of the drink stand? Wonderful. Now I can order without worrying about ending up with one of the logistics company's specials. The type of drink that keeps you awake all night, leaving you no choice but to pass the time working. That's right. I'm just a carefree librarian now. If only there weren't so many people with overdue books, and I didn't have to go door to door to get them back. I would have dropped by to chat with you sooner and try out your delightful creations, of course. Let me think. I don't really have a favorite drink. Just wrestle me up something rejuvenating that'll lift my spirits. And if it could help me nod off to sleep later, that would be even better.
Here's a snow-kissed dawn. I hope you like it.
It's delicious, cutie. Pleasantly tart, sweet, but not cloying, smooth on the palate, with a refreshing aftertaste. If anything, though, I seem to be feeling a little more energetic than I'd like. Perhaps you've unwittingly unraveled Glenfiddia's secret and concocted an even more effective pick-me-up? Don't worry, there's no rush. Your eyes are aglow with curiosity, as though you have many more questions to ask. Let's chat for a while. Take your time. Inspiration will come soon enough. Since you're asking, it's been a bit of an unusual day. There's a chef, fresh out of training in Fontaine, who's recently taken up a position at the Goth Grand Hotel. She borrowed our most valuable book, the Mondstadt Millennial Compendium of Desserts. Apparently, she plans to use dessert-making techniques to improve the taste of various savory dishes. Something about reducing their greasiness. Indeed, and judging by the results, she rather overdid it with the caramel sauce. What should have been fragrant meat slices ended up tasting nauseatingly sweet. Caramel sauce is such a fantastic ingredient, you know? It never fails to please when added to drinks. Sometimes I even add a spoonful to my afternoon tea. Improving food, I suppose, isn't always about being as creative as possible. Surely you're not suggesting I'd take this opportunity to sneak off on a little countryside wander. You caught me. My investigations into Mondstadt's lesser-known drinks took me to Dawn Winery, where I had a little chat with the head housemaid, Adelind. On my way back, I ran into Emmetall out on patrol. She'd encountered some monsters she didn't know how to deal with, and in her desperation, asked for my help. I accompanied her on a detour to Wolvendom to teach some raving hounds a lesson. It's been a while since I've had such an invigorating workout. Lately? So careful with your wording, cutie. Is that because you think that I, too, might have changed since we last met? Or simply because you can't remember? Not bad at all. A flawless answer. Back in my student days, I might have been drawn to every new and exciting ingredient I read about, constantly expanding my horizons and stepping out of my comfort zone. But now, I've grown accustomed to a life of comfort and routine. To paraphrase a certain Leo-Ed legal expert, my life is fast approaching a state of living out one's golden years in peace and comfort. I'm no longer so easily moved by adventure and excitement. I'm sure you remember, a few years ago, when we were adventuring together, you found me that sweet-tasting alchemical ingredient. Well, my tastes haven't changed a bit since then. Oh, this? That was for another of today's little errands. A large contingent of the expedition team will be returning to Mondstadt soon. They've been away for such a long time, so there's a good chance many of their tastes have changed. Jean asked me to visit some of their families to try and get a better understanding of what new ingredients might satisfy our knights' changing preferences. Well, they've all devoted their blood, sweat, and time to protecting Mondstadt. They deserve some care and respect in return. Based on what I gathered, the most requested ingredient was cacahuatl from Natlan. It seems like our knights have developed a taste for cocoa. In their letters, many of them mention that they rely on cocoa to keep themselves energized. I've tried hot cocoa myself, and I must say, I find it just as effective as coffee when it comes to staying alert. As expected, cutie, your brilliant mind has grown even sharper. Just a few gentle hints were all you needed to light that special spark of inspiration.
Finished. A new creation, custom made for you. This should help you fall asleep quickly and guarantee you peaceful dreams. It's called a slumbering rose.
From the colors to the choice of glass, everything's been carefully crafted. You've turned it into a completely different drink. Based purely on appearance, it's exactly my style. Time to see how it tastes. Full marks. It's like savoring an exquisite dessert before taking a stroll along the shore of Cider Lake, with a gentle breeze caressing your skin, relaxed and at ease. I no longer feel drained of energy, but neither am I overstimulated. I'm actually starting to feel a little sleepy. As a bedtime drink, this is pure perfection. So good, in fact, that I feel like writing an article to extol the virtues of this slumbering rose. I can use it as an opportunity to crown you the new maestro of mixology. Speaking of lakeside strolls, why don't you join me next time there's a clear, warm day, when the sun is bright but not too harsh? Any walk would be more relaxing with you to talk to along the way, cutie. Then, when we get back, you could fix me up another glass of slumbering rose. And I'll make just as sure to hold you to that. When the time comes, I won't accept any excuses.
Good afternoon, traveler. I didn't expect the honor of witnessing your harmonizing talents here in Mondstadt. Both, actually. A lady calling herself a mage asked me to come manage her flower shop. At about the same time, the Cat's Tail commissioned me to create a new fragrance for their establishment. Ending today's busy schedule with a drink crafted by you in person is truly a wonderful reward. I have faith in your choice.
Care to give this a try, Miss Emily?
Your artistry is truly a pleasure to watch. This tastes like a local variant of a Lumideuse Twilight. Am I right? The gentle and elegant taste, with its distinct layers combined with a hint of Mondstadt's characteristic scent, offers quite a welcoming flavor, all the while avoiding potentially discordant aromas. Though in reality, there's no need for you to be so conservative. I have quite a high tolerance for flavors that stray outside the boundaries of conventional wisdom. Your drink was nice, but it would be perfect if you could make one with a little more depth. A cocktail that shows off your unique understanding and enhances my impression of Mondstadt. If you need time to mull things over, perhaps you might find inspiration in a little light conversation? They're part of my reward from the flower shop owner. Important ingredients for making perfumes. Thanks to these, I was able to complete my commission for the Cat's Tail. I studied Mondstadt's Cecilia flowers many years ago. In fact, the fragrance of Cecilia in certain fields has become synonymous with Mondstadt itself. However, this is a special case. Some cats are quite averse to the scent of Cecilia, and we need to be particularly mindful of their preferences. Windwheel aster. The various parts of the windwheel aster plant can be ground into a powder to extract their essences. I then blended the scents from its petals and leaves. The result carries the intoxicating sweetness of mead, while still emphasizing the fresh notes contained within the flowers, stems, and leaves. I just took it for a little trial run at the Cat's Tail, and the cats seemed to really like it, while the clients themselves found it comforting and invigorating. Extracting exquisite fragrances from ordinary overlooked ingredients, oh, that's what truly brings me joy. asking. It's been going well, though this trip to Mondstadt has presented some unexpected challenges. When I first got here, I was relying on a copy of An Overview of Aromatic Substances and the Human Senses to identify promising local ingredients from the Mondstadt region. To my surprise, my trial fragrance, which used valberry as the primary note, proved far too sweet in the context of a tavern, relaxing people so much that they ended up feeling drowsy. The bartender with the beautiful ears, for instance, fell asleep right at the bar. Let's just say that sweetness isn't always a case of the more the merrier. Maintaining an appropriate balance is beneficial for both body and mind. Even in daily life, I rarely eat sweet food, and I try to avoid fruits like berries that have a high sugar content. In the end, I completely eliminated valberry as an ingredient and turned instead to windwheel aster, with some success, I might add. It really is. A while earlier, I watched a whole run of fair weather clouds float by, fluffy as pillows. It's not overly humid either, and the wind is gentle too. In such conditions, one's sense of smell is heightened, but not to an excessive degree. When scents are blended well, they naturally combine with the ambient context, leaving particularly powerful impressions. It seems something similar is true for mixology. As long as you choose a base of appropriate strength, the various flavors will blend seamlessly together. When mixed properly, all the ingredients work as one to create a most wonderful symphony for your taste buds. Yes, that's it. Now I think about it, layering distinct flavors doesn't really suit my personal preferences. Usually, after work, my friends from the Maison Gardiennage sometimes treat me to a few drinks. I usually stick to fruit tea. That way I can get straight back to work after our gatherings. If it's before a holiday and my friends are in high spirits, I sometimes order a small glass of sparkling fruit wine. There was an officer named Terena who used to treat me to aged Corte wine. But since she was transferred to the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol, we haven't had the chance. In the world of science, high-proof alcohol is a widely used solvent. I've grown well accustomed to the smell of it by now. Besides, when I'm slightly tipsy, my state of mind changes, which in turn alters my approach to perfumes. It doesn't matter if the result is good or bad, it's all about trying something new. So I don't mind drinks with just a little bit of alcohol, but I don't like anything too strong. Just from our brief chat, you've already formulated a new concoction. Perhaps you possess a natural talent for this kind of creative work.
Here you go. A new and improved Emily-inspired Lumidouce Twilight. I haven't come up with a name for it yet.
The colors are cooler and more refreshing, and the fragrance is delightfully subtle to match. Are these bright specks on the surface the crushed petals and leaves of windwheel asters? I'm sure it must taste wonderful. Let me try. In the language of flowers, the windwheel aster represents the visible winds. Your cocktail not only captures their form, but also the fragrance they carry. Therefore, I suggest you call this drink Windborne Bouquet. The winds and clouds of Mondstadt swirl together in the glass, leaving behind enchanting traces of fragrance. Really? Oh, perhaps it's just a habit of my profession. I'm glad you like it. Now it's time to slowly savor this masterpiece. Thank you so much. This trip to Mondstadt has been so rewarding. This is the most memorable cocktail I've ever had. Once I get back to Fontaine, I will attempt to recreate this moment as both a fragrance and a perfume. Once I've perfected the recipes, I hope you'll do me the honor of being the first customer to experience these new products. Until then, I look forward to seeing you in the Court of Fontaine.
So you're looking after the drink stand now. If I'd known sooner, I would have stopped by this morning. I've got to say, I'm getting curious. I've heard a lot about your mixology skills. I wonder what kinds of drinks you can mix with the ingredients Glenfiddia has prepared. I don't have much of a choice. It's just one thing after another right now. First off, the Knights of Favonia's annual combat assessment is coming up. And this year, the standards are higher than ever. As the captain of the reconnaissance company, I have to lead by example. At the very least, I need to rank as one of the top 3 captains in the practical portion. So, I've been intensifying my training lately. Being a descendant of sinners means I have to work hard to maintain my position. I'll have you know I've never once neglected my duties. Anyway, on top of all that, my duel with Miss Clorand required a lot of focus and energy. Learning how to turn defense into attack and seize the initiative when facing a combined assault from sword and musket. Even now, I'm still chewing through the details. But in the end, the exchange went well, and both parties learned a great deal. Never mind writing reports from 6 different perspectives, I feel like there's enough worth mentioning to write 24 of the things. Oh, I sure could. Anything that'll perk me up would be welcome. I'll leave the details to you.
One twinkling starlight for Captain Eula. Hope you like it.
Judging by your confident tone, I'm certain I will. Well then, I'll make sure to savor this thoroughly. Not bad. Sweet and tingly, with a delightful airiness. The fizzy water really brings it to life. I suddenly feel full of vim and vigor. But just one glass doesn't quite scratch the itch. How about something with a bit more bite? Don't hold back. You don't need to worry about putting me on the floor with nothing but a couple of drinks. Works for me. The first company hasn't assigned me any paperwork for tonight, so I'm free to catch up and try your new creations at my leisure. That's right. The merchant I got it from called it Romaritime flower fruit extract. It has a very unique smell. Here, have a bottle. Oh, it's a necessary courtesy. In that book Miss Magistus lent me, The Blade Dancer, 20 Years On, it says, after a duel, a Fontanian swordsman will politely invite their defeated opponents to a banquet. To properly play host to Miss Clorand, I searched for quite some time to locate a rare goods merchant in Dorman Port who sold this juice. I had my doubts at first, too. But Amber said something that makes a lot of sense. She said that even if this custom doesn't really exist, following it still shows I've made an effort to understand Fontaine's cultural heritage. Besides, who doesn't like trying new things, right? When I gave it to her at our post-training banquet, Miss Clorand really did enjoy this juice. Yes, I have. For a while, the situation there was difficult. A gang of outlaw engineers was messing about with some sort of mechanism control technology, attempting to manipulate ruin graders so they could rob merchant caravans. To make matters worse, several veteran knights who had been stationed at Dorman Port were transferred to my squad, and they weren't happy to be taking orders from that Lawrence girl. Leading them on this mission was quite eventful. It took 3 weeks of stealth operations in the snow, with no fires to keep us warm, before we finally located the enemy's stronghold. Those veteran knights faced the bitter cold and were almost taken down by the enemy's smuggled battle mechs. Fortunately, the battle went our way, and they had no choice but to acknowledge my abilities. Me? I'm completely fine. But thank you for your concern. It was mentally tiring for sure. But fortunately, the operation wore them down far more than it did me. They won't be questioning my authority again anytime soon. If any new recruits try to make my life difficult, I'll just have my veterans give them a few friendly pointers. I guess you could call them a permanent solution, huh? If you want to know what I've been eating recently, I'd better start by mentioning the logistics company's latest revolution. They launched a diet improvement initiative and started distributing a form of standardized canned food to knights operating in the wilderness. In the past, we only had dry rations. Every mealtime we had to set up pots and campfires, roll dice to choose a cook, and take turns standing guard. In all honesty, it was a bit of a hassle. Now we just need to bring our standard field rations, comprising of 5 cans and 9 paper packages. We can heat the cans by the campfire, and then we're ready to eat. You did say, sounds like, right? Our canned food supplier has quite the stellar reputation, and their regular meals are indeed quite good. The problem is, in order to meet preservation standards, they have to make their military-grade meals way too salty. The vice captain of the 5th Company, who has a somewhat dry sense of humor, went so far as to say, "This food's bad enough to bring down the wrath of Li Yue's stove god." In any case, after eating it for a week, my taste buds have gone completely numb. You can hardly blame the logistics company. After all, it is hard to please everyone. Our feedback has already been submitted, and they should be working on fixing the issue. Of course, having fresh meals prepared in camp by a dedicated company chef is still the best option. Oh my. To be honest, before we crossed swords, I was feeling eager, but also a little nervous. Miss Cloran's combat style comes from the mysterious Marechaussee hunters. In the library, there are some old Fontanian newspapers from hundreds of years ago that give some idea of how formidable an organization it was. A more recent newspaper claimed that Miss Cloran was an orphan from an underwater kingdom, and that before battle she would perform rituals inviting spirits to possess her sword. Certainly, from my own experiences, Miss Cloran's abilities more than match those descriptions. Incorporating elements of swordsmanship into a drink? Huh. Certainly a creative idea, I'll give you that. A commemorative cocktail at a time like this sounds nice, but how do you plan to express something like swordsmanship with a drink? That definitely matches the description I read in that book. That's right. You really know your stuff. I doubt there's anyone else in all of Tevat who could come up with such a perfect metaphor. There's no need to make it sound so fancy. It's just an aristocratic variant of Favonius bladework, with a bit of personal flair. Firewater. In recent years, firewaters gained popularity the world over, following in the wake of prosperous Snezhnayan merchants. These days, almost every tavern has a signature drink that uses it as a base. You really are good. Why don't we try replacing the fruit wine with firewater? As for the alcohol content, that's not a problem. Plenty of the expedition team may have drunk themselves senseless with firewater. But me, I'm full of confidence. Brilliant! I'm looking forward to seeing how you do.
Here's your all-new Seafoam Sword Song, mixed to meet your personal preferences.
Oh my, what beautiful colors! And you even added my Romaritime flower fruit extract. The aroma is perfect, and I can smell the alcohol, but it doesn't stifle the fruity fragrance. Let's see how it tastes. Give me a moment to come up with the right words. I need to think carefully. I know it's unbecoming of a lady, and a proper connoisseur would savor their drinks slowly. But I'm sorry, this is just too good to be true. Can you mix me another? Oh, no, what was I going to say? I've completely lost my train of thought. Whatever. I feel fantastic. This cocktail. Oh, it's the best I've ever had. I think I'm gonna head home and get some sleep. Don't worry about me. This is the happiest tipsy I've been in years. I'm Still far from being drunk. By the time I've written up those reports for my exchange with Miss Clarend, I'll have been on duty for 3 months straight. Jean, the acting grandmaster. Isn't it about time she gave me some time off? I won't be forgetting this injustice in a hurry. You mark my words.
Suspicion confirmed. While patrolling the area, I was sure I'd sensed a familiar presence, so I came over to take a look. And sure enough, here you are. If Miss Charlotte were to see you like this, I'm guessing she'd take 100 pictures and write up a report. Sword-wielding traveler's secret side hustle. Exclusive cocktails from Tevat's Explorer Extraordinaire. You'd make the front pages of every major newspaper. And there'd be crowds of Fontanian tourists flocking to your drink stand, causing gridlock on the streets of Mondstadt. Luckily for you, I turned down Miss Charlotte's request to accompany me here, so you're unlikely to be seeing any scenes like that. Let's quietly celebrate this moment of peace. And on that note, I'd like a caramel blaze. That look on your face tells me you have a lot of questions you want to ask. Calm and effortless. I'm shocked to learn you're a real pro at this sort of thing.
Your caramel blaze is ready. Try not to drink it all in one go.
It sure lives up to its name. The color reminds me of a raging fire, while that aroma really hits you head on. It's quite strong. I'm all right. I just need a little time to get used to it. As I recall, The last time I drank alcohol was at a wine tasting event that Navia invited me to last year. I only had a small sip of Sassica wine, and it was nowhere near as strong as this concoction of yours. From a purely rational perspective, alcohol can cause dizziness and impair one's ability to work, so it's best avoided altogether. But when Miss Farina saw me off at the docks, she mentioned that Mondstadt is the land of wine and poetry. Since I'm here, I thought I should at least try the local specialties. In fact, Captain Eula, whom I sparred with earlier, has quite the refined taste for fine wine. She even gifted me a bottle of Romaritime flower fruit extract, which is no longer produced in Fontaine and can now only be found overseas. Out of the utmost respect for her skills, I feel compelled to deepen my knowledge of Mondstadt's wines. I truly appreciate all the trouble you're going to. Huh? Does that mean she's already finished her commission? Well, she's certainly efficient. Once I return to Fontaine, perhaps I can let Sigewinne know that I'd be happy to purchase her latest perfume. I'm not sure I'd say that. On my way to Mondstadt, we happened to take the same boat. Naturally, we got to chatting. I've often heard Sigewinne praise her work. After conversing with her on the journey over, I must say, she is indeed a rare and refined individual. She's gentle and composed, yet keeps others at a distance. Perhaps it's due to her profession. I find this approach ideal. It allows one to maintain a lasting sense of inner peace. Oh, thank you, but there's really no need to set anything up. Our work rarely intersects, and our social circles hardly make for a Venn diagram, if you know what I mean. Best to just let things take their natural course. When I'm working, I often drink coffee. But with meals, I prefer a lighter tasting drink, like Buell fruit juice. Since I eat a lot of meat, the slight acidity of the juice helps balance out the greasiness. Over time, I've grown accustomed to the sour taste. After the swordsmanship exchange, the Knights of Favonius rather kindly treated me to some traditional Mondstadt cuisine. I had 8 different meat dishes, and all of them were excellent. The portions were huge, and only the highest quality cuts were used. Everything was cooked to absolute perfection. Of course, there was still room for improvement. When catering to tourists, the sticky honey roast and pile 'em up might benefit from a slightly lighter sauce. I've certainly tried all the red meat dishes. I think I've had enough calories to sustain 3 days of vigorous work, so I've had to decline all subsequent dining invitations. To be honest, I can still taste the grease. There must be a way to cleanse my palate. I've seen a little. I took a stroll around the city the first day I got here. Navia's done some rather extensive research on this place. Many of the scenes and illustrations for the tabletop troupe were inspired by views of Mondstadt. However, the way she describes the atmosphere in her world building is quite different from the real Mondstadt. The deepest impression I've got since arriving here is one of swords and shields. Perhaps because I've mostly just visited the blacksmith and the training grounds. Recently, the newer weapons and armor produced in Mondstadt have been created using a completely different heat treatment process from those in Fontaine, with a higher carbon content in the surface layer. While this has slightly reduced their overall toughness, their impact resistance has greatly improved. These newer weapons give off a smell like overbrewed coffee. Perhaps it's because that scent gave me such a positive first impression. You see, Fontaine's signature metalwork is often coated with a protective agent that contains Marcotte. Over time, the faint fragrance becomes overly sweet. And for some reason, it makes my teeth feel funny. I don't imagine the scent of Mondstadt's swords and shields would cause the same level of irritation. Of course, there is a solution to this problem. The next time you find yourself in Fontaine, there's another protective agent I can recommend. One that's as neutral as water, without any excess fragrance. If you also dislike being bombarded with sweetness, this protective agent should suit you well. Indeed it is. The knights codenamed Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5 gave me this crest. I must say, it's exquisite. They told me the design has only just been finalized. Apparently, it's only presented to important guests. They said they're making a badge for you, too, but it hasn't been finished yet. You're not wrong. I guess it's similar to how I can't remember the name of every clerk in the Palais Mermonia. But I'm certain you'll get to know them in time. They're clearly seasoned veterans. Even though they work desk jobs, they still turn up in full armor. After handling my affairs, they headed to the tavern for a gathering, saying they wanted to continue last night's duel and determine who had the highest alcohol tolerance. Drinking barrels of beer the night before, yet being able to work with clear minds the next day. So what you're saying is, while Mondstadters may seem carefree, they actually have an admirable ability to know their limits when it comes to drinking. Are you already planning the details of our hypothetical get-together? Based on my previous experiences with alcohol, I'd guess my tolerance is similar to Emily's. Fruit liqueur is probably my limit. So when the time comes, I think you'd be best off mixing similar drinks for the both of us. All right, I'll make sure I'm mentally prepared. Even if it's still a bit strong, I'll do my best to finish it.
All right, this new creation is called Leisure Time Lightning, a cocktail made exclusively for champion duelists. Enjoy!
Have you added fruit wine? It tastes wonderful. This is ideal for me. There's a subtle saltiness that combines well with the tartness of the fruit and the sweetness of the caramel. Each sip balances delicately on the edge of perfection. The color of the wine also fits well with the name, and the lightning imagery contrasts with the fiery nature of the caramel glaze. But where does the leisure time part come in? I see. That certainly matches the impression this cocktail gives me. Its unique aroma and taste will hold a special place in my memories of Mondstadt. Do you think, if the chance were to present itself, you'd be interested in mixing drinks somewhere else? A cafe, for instance, or the Hotel de Boer? Mostly for Navia and Miss Farina's sake. Though obviously I'd be more than happy to try more of your masterpieces myself. I understand. I won't try to strong-arm you. In any case, I truly appreciate your hospitality. Thanks to you, whether I'm summarizing the key lessons from my exchange with Miss Eula, or discussing strategy with the Knights of Favonius, I'll be in my best condition.
The whole world shares the bounty of the skies, the rain and clouds that grace the earth beneath. The moon was never meant to be a foreign realm. Mathematics is the foundation of all things. If you're interested, I can teach you some arithmetic.
Huh? Is that Miss Honorary Knight? Yippee! It's you! Auntie Eula told Klee that Miss Hertha had found someone amazing willing to help out. Seeing you here, Miss Honorary Knight, Klee knows this must be the best drink stand in all of Teyvat. You mean this stand isn't already the best? Well, out of all the drink stands Klee's ever visited, Miss Honorary Knight's is easily the best. And no matter what drinks Miss Honorary Knight makes, Klee will definitely think they're yummy. Oh, you want me to be mean? But Klee could never be mean to you. Let me think. I know! I'll pretend to be Albedo! Whenever Albedo reviews Timaeus' work, his face goes super serious, and Klee can hear every word he says. Get ready for Klee's super amazing order! These past few days, I've been having such a blast with Mom all day long! It's been so much fun! Even being sent to solitary confinement couldn't wipe the smile off my face. So, Klee wants to order a fair weather frolic. Anything like a bright sunny day will definitely put Klee in a super duper mood. I wonder what it'll taste like.
Your fair weather frolic is here. Go on, give it a try.
Wow! So, a fair weather frolic is this color? Purple sky. Is it supposed to be a bright, shiny night? Klee will take a sip first. Then you can think about it more carefully. Ah, finished! Yummy! Both sweet and sour. If Klee drank this while eating grilled fish, I could definitely gobble down 2, or 3, or 4, or even 5! But one drink isn't enough. Klee wants to try a drink that tastes like cake. Klee doesn't know what drink to choose. Why don't we decide together, Miss Honorary Knight? Three square meals? Klee often eats 5 meals a day, sometimes even 7. Adventuring takes a lot of energy, and if I eat too much at once, I can't run so well. So, it's better to eat lots of smaller meals. Albedo used to prepare all Klee's meals, and my lunchbox was always arranged so neatly, just like a pretty painting. When Albedo's busy at Dragonspine, Klee goes to eat with the other Knights of Favonius. Kaya's camp is usually the neatest, while Amber sometimes camps in the trees. It's so much fun. Oh, and Auntie Hertha makes the best food. When my mom comes back, there'll be even more yummy food to eat.
There's this one dish where she takes loads of different fish and makes them into little pudding cubes. It's called rainbow fish jelly. Her Chocogo Crunchy slices are fantastic too. It's her newest creation made with chocolate and cookies. They're a little bitter, but they're crunchy. They smell scrumptious and they have a really sweet aftertaste. Whenever I eat them, I feel so full of energy. Next time, Klee will have to bring some for you to try. Yeah, when Klee gets back home, I'm gonna eat some salted nuts while reading my book. Klee used to eat cake after dinner, but Master Jean said it's too sugary, and it's not good to eat sugary things before bed. Apparently, it makes you chubby and gives you toothaches. So, Mom got some advice from Auntie Barbie, and now she gives me nuts instead. She says they help my brain remember things better. Nuts don't have much flavor. It's like chewing on grass, but they're okay if you add a little salt. Yeah, Mom gave me an amazing book recently. She said I have to read one chapter every night, learn something useful, and then go to bed early. That book taught Klee how to make something called propellant. Now Jumpy Dumpty can go fwah, and bounce even higher. It's not hard at all. In fact, it's a lot like making bombs. You just have to be careful when trimming it down. It's like sharpening a pencil that could suddenly go boom. Bedtime's an important part of Klee's schedule, too. Mom sits by my side and tells me all kinds of wonderful stories. She has a lamp made of gemstones, and when she turns it on, it goes kapling and lights up the ceiling. Yeah, when something happens in the story, the lights on the ceiling make pretty pictures. Sometimes Mom falls asleep before the story ends, so Klee has to tuck her in instead. As soon as Klee learns how to use the lamp, I can come tell you stories, Miss Honorary Knight. Klee has memorized so many wonderful stories, enough to make everyone happy every day. This stuff? Mom taught me how to make it using the alchemy bench. A dash of sugar, then a lot more sugar, then some flowers from Mom's friend in Fontaine, star honey from Auntie Barbie, and finally, some magical jam from Auntie Tavia. Put everything together on the alchemy table, wish for the shape you want, then recite Mom's incantation, and poof! Dodoko shaped candy! Klee can give you some Dodoko candy too if you want. And if you really like them, I can even teach you my mom's incantation. That way, you could make your own candy whenever you want. If you get stuck, remember to come ask Klee. When it comes to magical candy, I'm an expert. Clee still wants to eat sweet things, like cake, for example. Maybe we could just go easy on the cream? Or add more fruit? Oh, right! That friend of Mom's who's always wearing glasses gave her a big bag of Fontanian Buell fruit. They're so round and rolly. Clee ate a whole bunch of those, and they were super sweet. But Master Jean said it was okay, because sweet fruit isn't the same as sweet sugar. So if Clee really has to eat nuts, maybe I can just soak them in some fruit juice first? Yeah, that was quick. Clee's looking forward to finding out how tasty your next concoction is.
Ta-da! It's done! I just know you're gonna love this new creation.
Wow! There's Dodoko candy on top! There's so much orange in this cup, and Dodoko looks like he's lying on top of white fluffy clouds. And the weather inside looks much better, too. Yummy! It's so delicious! Clee has to drink slowly. I can't just gulp it down, or I'll miss all the yummy flavor. Miss Honorary Knight, this is amazing! It's like you mixed sunshine with juice. Clee was so tired from playing, but now I feel refreshed. And warm. And peaceful. Ooh. You're the best, Miss Honorary Knight. Really? Let me think. When the weather's nice and Dodoko's happy, Dodoko will want to sing, right? And when Dodoko sings, Clee wants to sing too. So, let's call it Dodoko's Duet. Thank you! And thanks for making such a yummy drink for Clee. Clee's gonna go tell Mom that the best drink in Mondstadt right now is Dodoko's Duet. Clee's gonna write down Mom's incantation and give you a copy, Miss Honorary Knight. Then you should learn magic too, so you can make all the candies you want. See you next time!
The Adeptus arts are most miraculous, but
Ha. So Hertha's even roped our honorary knight into helping with this little venture. Now that I'm finally free to relax, it's time to start doing just that. Can't wait to see your skills in action. Give me something that goes well with casual conversation, but still packs a punch. Of course they don't clash. A drink that packs a punch means you have to drink it slowly. And if you want to chat, then it has to go down smooth. So, something with a sweet aftertaste. A conversational connoisseur requires the perfect balance. The most suitable choice on this menu would be the Thorny Lake. It's a drink with a real kick that you can find in almost every bar. It's not enough to know the recipe, though. The key is in the mixing. Some bartenders choose to stick to the tried and tested basics, while others like to add their own personal flair. That's the spirit. Now, show me what you've got.
Grandmaster, I hereby present you with this Thorny Lake for your enjoyment and assessment.
Well, the color and aroma are certainly on point. But as for the balance of flavors, I'll just have to taste it and find out. Not bad. You haven't overdone or skimped on any single ingredient. Though, unfortunately, it's a little too, polite for my tastes. Perhaps I should have said modest. You followed the formula to a T, but if anything, you've played it a little too safe. Were you worried that deviating just a little might disappoint me? Hey, we fought side by side and dealt with things that even gods were loath to meddle with. Ours is a friendship forged in the margins between life and death. That said, if you ask me, you can ditch the nerves and work your mixologist magic. I'm looking for something that shocks the senses. Mull it over, there's no rush. We can chat while you think. Who knows? You might just find some inspiration to mix in with your magic. Ha! I like your style. Speaking of this garden, it brings back memories of something that happened many years ago. When I was young, I like to find ruined guards to test my fighting skills, both armed and unarmed. Once, I failed to take down a stray missile, and it ended up destroying a watchtower on the city walls. As punishment, I had to run 50 laps around the city, repair the watchtower, and help rebuild the shattered walls in this garden. Indeed, among the misadventures of my youth, this is one of the most memorable ones. Mostly because that day, Crepus saw me covered in dirt. He took 2 bottles of 100-year-old wine and sent D-Luke, who looked even younger than Mika does today, to work out a clever way to get rid of Faru, who was guarding me. It was so hot that day, I could swear I was about to pass out. On a whim, I picked some mint leaves, put them in one of the wine bottles, and the result turned out to be surprisingly tasty. After Crepus tried it too, he was full of praise. He even wrote up an official recipe for my spontaneous creation. His customers loved it. Several summers passed, and Crepus kept writing letters about giving me a share of the profits, as though I could possibly accept. Yes, good old Crepus. Faru retired years ago, but he still gives me a stern stare every time we meet. He's a stubborn one. D-Luke, who replaced him, and then Kaya, who took over later, both performed impeccably. Changing times will always belong to the youth. He should have admitted defeat long ago. When I get the chance, I'll have Kaya show him the amazing progress the cavalry company has made. Well, let me think. I guess you could say it lacks impact. Even when following the same recipe, the techniques used to mix different ingredients can affect the taste. Sometimes, deliberately creating layers between spirits can bring out the different waves as each one hits the taste buds in sequence. In this regard, too, you've taken quite a tentative approach. Why not be a little bolder? Ha ha ha, you catch on quickly. No need to explain further. It's a treasured place that the Knights of Favonius have maintained for years, so it makes sense that it's become the go-to location for organizing such things. I heard that while the expedition was underway, you were a great help in giving those left behind the opportunity to put their energy to good use. Sometimes, I look through the photos I've been given from those events, though unfortunately, there aren't enough to include everybody. My conclusion is that Mondstadt needs to do more to popularize the camera. Pretty awesome, huh? It's like a hammerhead that you can fill with wine when you're not using it to pound in nails. It was a gift. Hoffman came up with the idea, Charles supplied the design, Wagner helped cast it, and about 10 or so knights chipped in to pay for the materials. They've been waiting to have a good drink with me, and this is my crucial weapon to aid me in a fair duel with them all. I'm the Grand Master, after all. I've been drinking a lot longer than them. I've practiced more assiduously, and I have a bit more meat to absorb the blows. So it's only fair to my subordinates that I drink a teensy bit more per round. Wouldn't you agree? Of course, some of them have been training as long as I have, and those ones won't be getting any special treatment. Take Hazelnut 3 and Hazelnut 5, for example. Both were skilled warriors who helped me deal with Eric back in the day. Nowadays, I have them helping Jean with miscellaneous duties. At today's after-work cooldown, they insisted on trying to keep pace. In the end, they lost our game of darts and ended up passed out on the floor. I've already told Jean that I won't be approving their leave request for tomorrow, no matter what. If I were in charge of organizing events, well, I suppose everyone would revolve around fine wine, or at the very least, there would be some sort of tasting involved. For example, we could go all in on this drink stand and open it to the whole city, with every company of the Knights selecting one or more mixologists to compete against each other. It's only a thought. Can't let things get too out of hand. If I were to actually throw a grand banquet, Jean would come after me with her sword drawn. Even Frederica would launch a punitive expedition. While in Nodcry, we had a rule that knights must never get drunk while at their posts. Otherwise, it could lead to dereliction of duty with serious consequences. Exactly. As expedition members return to their companies, my hope is that this rule will gradually spread to everyone in Mondstadt too. Just like firewater and Smedina, these Nodcry delicacies have made their way into Mondstadt's households and become part of people's daily lives. Young people need to learn restraint. At the end of the day, no one should be biting off more than they can chew. Unless it's someone near my level, they shouldn't even be thinking about enjoying a light buzz when they've still got work to do. Most people would just end up a whole lot drunker than they'd like. You should come practice with me on weekends. Trust me, once I've drunk them under the table, they'll be swearing off wine for a whole week. Huh? Oh, feel free. Whatever you're about to do, I've got a feeling I've hit the jackpot.
Here you go, Grandmaster. A cocktail just for you. I guarantee you won't find this one too polite.
Such a spirited drink. How did you make this? Well, that burning scent of firewater. Oh, it's as if the very air were about to ignite. This is more like it. Perfection. It's clear that once you let go of your inhibitions, your talents really shine through. That first hint of mint is like a cooling feint that masks the firewater underneath. By the time the sweetness dissipates, the firewater is already slipped in behind your guard, ready to deliver a powerful strike of intense flavor. Oh, it's exactly the impact I was hoping for. That's the most ingenious part. Firewater's greatest flaw is a lack of aftertaste. but the Smeta perfectly maintains the flavor at the peak of its intensity. It's hard to imagine something this good was created by a mixologist who doesn't even drink firewater. I think it has the potential to become a firm favorite in Mondstadt and Nodcry. Iron Wolf. Oh, perfect. It's elegant, yet wild. Only you could come up with such a fitting name. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we name our Knights of Favonius' drink stand after you? Let's call it the Honorary Knights Cocktail Shack. No time to waste. I'll go have a word with Glenfidia right away.
Hey there, Traveler! All wrapped up for the day? Paimon hears you did a great job holding down the fort while she was out delivering drinks with Glenfidia.
Whatever the reason, the Honorary Knight is clearly one of the most talented mixologists in Mondstadt. Considering how short a time she's been doing this, I believe that someday she has the potential to give the legendary bartender at the Cat's Tail a run for her money.
I fully support your decision, Grandmaster. The Honorary Knight has really put in the hard yards. The drink stand will remain open for a little while longer to provide a proper welcome to our returning expedition members. Then, once we locate suitable premises, we also plan to look at operating a permanent service.
Hooray! Everyone in the Knights of Favonius will get to drink all the delicious cocktails they like!
Nothing short of what I'd expect from a true disciple of Hertha. You've really considered this thoroughly, Glenfidia.
Also, if I may, Honorary Knight, regarding the special cocktails you've developed, would you mind leaving the recipes with us? We'd like to add them to the official menu.
Paimon feels like there's something you still want to say. Let Paimon have a guess. Based on your personality, you probably want to introduce the origin of each different cocktail. That way, customers will know who inspired you to create these amazing drinks.
No problem at all. If you need, I can even have someone draft the paperwork on your behalf to secure you the rights to these new recipes.
I hope when we recruit some new bartenders, they'll be able to learn from your incredible skills. Even if they can't quite match your work, if they could be 2/3 as good, that would still make them industry leaders.
Here we go!
The story has only just begun! Maria sweeping in!
Think you can get away? Let's play!
Flash!
Time for takeoff.
As one with wind and cloud, into the wind.
Here we go.
Maria sweeping in! A turning point in...
Let's play! Think you can get away?
Thunder! Thunder!
Here we go. Time for takeoff.
That's nothing.
the skies! Yeah! Skyward!
Let's move! Look out below! Yeah!
The Adeptus! Skyward!
Hey there! A proper send-up! Quick as a flash! On my mark! Come on! Move! Hi! Yeah! Hi! Headbutt!
Go get it, Aiden! Hold on!
Lofty wisdom will show us the way! Like the dust! There is no escape!
Carely, this is order!
Without further ado, like the dust!
While the light shines bright!
The sky's clear, the glazed moon shines! Be cleansed, illusion shattered!
You got this! Light compels you!
light, shield them! Be cleansed!
Begone, shadow of darkness! While the light shines bright!
Shine down!
Order guide you!
Smite the dust! Smite the dust! The sky's clear, the glazed moon shines! Without further ado...
Shadows of fate!
Let me leave you.
A burst of flavor! Off to the freezer!
Annihilate! Mine to wield!
Written in the stars! Delved into...
Witness the power of the one.
Decided by destiny.
Ram cutter.
Deuce on the loose.
Extinguish. Power.
Pinnacle of excellence. Fate is upon you. Delved into a dash of frosting. Yeah. Yeah.
Outlines your fate. Let me...
Written in the stars. Paradigm shift.
shield.
Rise with the sun! Light of the blazing sun! Ha! Fire in the hole! Bullseye! Open fire! Yeah!
Go! You're free now!
Burn it down!
Hear the echoes of the valley!
Wrath from the sky!
Hold on to your hats.
Open fire! Locked on! Open fire!
Time to say hello.
Light of the blazing sun! Try and stop me!
Let the mountain's veins boil!
Open fire!
Go! You're free now!
Pyroclastic surge!
Hear the echoes of the valley! Bring it!
Let's run! Bullseye! Locked on! Light of the blazing sun! Full throttle!
compels you!
Observe the long, sleek bands. Close your eyes. Be silent.
Rush attack!
You got this!
Close your eyes. Be silent. Fear the dark.
Be gone, Shadow of Darkness!
Divine light, shield them! Be cleansed!
Look, the rainbow!
Observe. Be silent.
Rush attack!
Behold the dawn!
Beware the creatures of the night. Close your eyes.
Look, the rainbow!
The sky's clear, the glazed moon shines!
Go get him, Aiden!
Go for
Light compels you!
Be silent. Close your eyes. To dust. I'm rather out of sorts.
The whole world shares.
Add Astra. Thank you for. Add Astra.
Where does weather in our bag come from? Did it just blow in on the breeze? Oh, it's from the tone-deaf bard. Apparently, he wants to hear all about our adventures in Nodcry. Maybe we can get some tasty treats out of him in return. Come on, let's go to Star Snatch Cliff.
Welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Well, you sure have your finger on the pulse. We've barely caught our breath since Nodcry, but it sounds like you've already heard about what went down.
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth. My wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat and tell me your tale. Amazing! Incredible! The Rahier of Solnari and the Doctor? Truly a tale for the ages! So, I'm guessing the wild hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rahier of Solnari?
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition, right? I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
Hooray! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados. But weren't you still fast asleep back when he was in Mondstadt?
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
Yeah, it sounded kinda like...
Hey! Is that all you've got? Oh, bring it on!
like that.
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure. Now there's a sight I haven't seen in a while.
A bard in green clothes. Does this mean... Oh, you're Venti? I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
Oh, so you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight, and Paimon! The Grand Master talks about you all the time. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, Vice Captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of Favonius and a member of the Expeditionary Force. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt. Hey, wait a second. We never saw you in Nodcry either.
That's probably because when the Wild Hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own, making mincemeat out of monsters. I barely went back to base at all. Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me. Sounds like I missed out on some serious action.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varka send you back?
Deliver some letters. There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez, how many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. He should just hire a full-time mailman already. In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname. Let's go with... Sir Writes-A-Lot.
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. So, tone-deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And I consider Sir Writes-A-Lot to be quite a compliment.
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nicknames for these two.
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for me, I assume he must have a letter for me too. Am I right?
You sure are, to use the Grand Master's own words.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the Thousand Winds Temple.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, ruin guard, I could get some practice in while I was at it. So, I came right here the second I got back to Mondstadt.
That Varka is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we happen to be nearby.
Oh, he also said to remind you to write back.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies.
But if I'm supposed to write back this time... I'll need some time to mull over my response. Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can head into Mondstadt and deliver the rest of them first?
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much since the pre-expedition days.
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some of the recipients of Varka's letters will turn out to be old friends of yours, too.
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done any guide work.
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And you, Miss Guide.
The Abyss. The Wild Hunt. Andreas. Get home safe, Varka.
Why do my ears feel so hot all of a sudden? Is someone talking about me? Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted. Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. They're no real threat to us. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final few targets, and then we will make our triumphant return! Try to keep up! Stormwind!
Without the Rapier of Solnari to direct them, it seems like all that's left is their primal urge to destroy.
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nodcry will be able to deal with what's left.
Just like I thought. What we should be wary of now is...
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the suspected targets should be just up ahead.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand guard. Leave the rest to me.
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andreas.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago? Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. There are 2 other places to check. Maybe this'll all go smoothly after all. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might be better to go by...
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice, corruption, iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight. That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so make sure to stock up on wine for the celebrations. P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing you all when I get back to make sure no one's regressed. P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
That's all.
Everyone gets one? Wow! Sir Writes a Lot is really living up to his name.
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Jean? Oh, yes. That's our Grand Master for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel Share. Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there for a drink.
Paimon bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we deliver Kaya's letter? And these are there too as well!
Really? Oh, that would be a great help, thank you.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help distribute the remaining letters. You've had a long journey. Please go get some rest.
Great, but I won't be resting just yet. I have one last letter to deliver to Wolvendom. This one, I was planning on delivering personally. I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas' trial. Well, with any luck, that wolf might be willing to reveal himself to me, too.
Very well, but please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
Grandmaster offered lots of advice in his letter regarding my recent assessments. I didn't think he'd spare a thought for that kind of thing in the middle of an expedition. So, Honorary Knight, if you have the time, do you think you could help me out with my special training?
He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I still haven't forgotten how he went easy on me last time. I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before. When the time comes, You'd better keep an eye on him for me.
Ah, the Grand Master. The archives are filled with documents awaiting his review. I'm not letting him run off again until he's finished dealing with every last one. On another note, have you spoken to Jean? I hope she'll finally be able to relax a little once Varka returns.
Okay, we'll deliver these letters to the Adventurers Guild and the Cat's Tail. You can just handle the ones for the Angels share.
The expedition is finally wrapping up. Oh, I hope the maps I made on our way there are good enough to get them safely home.
Please be quiet within the premises and refrain from making a racket.
The Grand Master wrote in his letter that the Boom Blossom bombs we sent worked really well. He wants to know if we've made any more.
Uncle Varka's coming home? Yay! I can't wait to go outside and play with him!
Honorary Knight, you're still here? Is it that obvious?
Huh? But Varka's coming back. The situation in Nakrai is stable. Surely things are looking up.
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, the expedition has indeed accomplished its strategic objectives. It seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the perils of the North, be they the Wild Hunt or the Doctor. And yet, for some reason, I can't help but recall something the Grandmaster said to me before he left.
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight yet. What's wrong? There's no need to frown. I'm going on an expedition, not marching to my death. This is all just a contingency plan in the event that I'm unable to return. Until I return, I leave them in your care.
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt just as he did. But he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship earned him the wolf spirit's recognition. When the old aristocracy tried to regain power, Ravenwood came once more to Mondstadt's defense. From then on, the title of Knight of Boreas was passed down from generation to generation within the Knights of Favonius.
Wolf spirit? You mean that big blue wolf in Wolfenden?
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god, and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the journey with his human companion. In the end, he chose to allow his power to become one with the land. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey was not Mondstadt, but Nodcry.
Huh?
The great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry, although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he rarely shows himself to people at all nowadays. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. Even among the Knights of Favonius, few are aware of it. The Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I couldn't help but wonder whether it might somehow be related to Nodcry's Wolf of the North. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion toward the Four Winds among the people of Mondstadt. You experienced the turmoil caused by Duval and the East Wind's actions for yourself. Surely you can understand my concern?
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives. Is that what he was worried about?
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't yet ascertained the true identity of our enemy at that time. And as it turns out, the Calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions. Yes, I completely agree. The tide can turn rapidly in times of battle. It's a leader's responsibility to prepare for every possible contingency. Even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action, I'm sure the Grand Master is relieved to know that it's in place. Thank you for being such a patient listener. I feel much more settled after talking with you. If you have any spare time, would you mind stopping off to say hello to the other knights? I'm sure they have all missed our honorary knight just as much as I have.
That turned into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the Angels share now.
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about trading.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information.
Hiya, Rosaria! D-Luke! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler, Paimon, what brings you our way?
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. We make absolutely no excuse for his crimes. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what? What's this about?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. I failed to avoid him. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that happened and asked me to reconsider. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of details. There's clearly more to it.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now serves no purpose.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect since then, but my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Favonius. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said, but don't you think someone can keep tabs on things from the inside?
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the Church and not the Knights to begin with?
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better. Huh? Traveler?
What should I report back to the Grand Master on? Let me think. Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh, and a review of the latest vintages. I think I'll leave it at that. What should I report back to the public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh.
My reply won't be a long one, as usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised.
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme? What do you mean? Was Varka lying in his letters then?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome Diluc back. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in Mondstadt before. Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception. The second was the case I was alluding to.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait, and then we got caught up talking about the expedition and we never got around to the second time.
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage. It was 500 years ago. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Yikes! Bloodstained Knight? That sounds a little ominous.
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight. But he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the Blood-Stained Knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know you're not alone. After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever. Just like how he used to be with me.
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him. Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god in Mondstadt thousands of years in the past? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. idea. Gene said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always seems happy to oblige whenever you show up. Let's go!
Let me guess. You're heading to Wolvendom next? Say hi to Razor for me. Oh, but I'm not helping him write his response to Varka. He needs to learn to be independent.
What's going on here? Was Wolvendom always like this? Paimon has a bad feeling about this. The Wild Hunt! What are they doing here? Watch out!
Be cleansed! The sky's clear, the glazed moon shines!
Light compels you!
Off to the breeze! Arrogant and presumptuous! Divine light, shield them! Smite the dust!
Oh, are you all right? Oh no! What now? There better not be more Wild Hunt monsters! Phew. You scared Paimon stiff! She thought you were...
Stop right there! Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
2 letters? Wasn't it 3?
Okay. Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Wait, what are you trying to say, huh? Huh? Paimon passed a test? Really? Huh! She didn't even realize she was taking one!
You may dispense with your suspicions. The Wolfpack has borne witness. They fought against the aberrations that encroached upon this land. And our attackers showed no ability to disguise themselves this time. Ah, a familiar scent. Come. I will await you at the usual grounds.
Well, if the boss of Wolvendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now. Sure was. Fortunately, my experience in Nodcry didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. They didn't stand a chance. Something seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on, you should check on him.